I now declare the 124th commencement ceremonies of the University of Rhode Island officially open. This weekend in Kingston, we will confer approximately 3,900 academic degrees at the university's commencement ceremonies. Many loyal alumni have gathered in Kingston today as well, and we are particularly proud to have them marching behind the piper today, the class of 1960, who are celebrating their 50th reunion. Will the class of 1960 please stand so we may salute you? Everyone may now take your seats, please. The trusteeship of the University of Rhode Island is the responsibility of the Board of Governors for Higher Education. These are the men and women who, as volunteers, spend many hours thinking together about the strength of the university and how it may best serve the people of Rhode Island and America. It is my pleasure today to recognize those members of the board who are with us. Would each trustee stand as I read your name, and will the audience please hold your applause until all members of the board have been introduced. Chairman of the Board, Frank Caprio. Governor Thomas Rocket. Governor Michael Ryan. Governor Solomon A. Solomon. And Governor Brandon Brown, sitting with his graduating class. Also with us today is the Commissioner for Higher Education, Ray DePasquale. We thank each member of the board and the commissioner who are here to share this day with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure today to introduce to you His Excellency, the Governor of the State of Rhode Island, the Honorable Donald Carcieri. We are delighted that he joins us again to celebrate this terrific occasion in the history and tradition of the University of Rhode Island. Governor Carcieri.
Thank you very much, President Dooley. To Congressman Reed, Senator Reed, Congressman Langevin, my fellow general officers, Judge Caprio, who's chair of the Board of Governors, and other members of the board, to John King, URI class of 1985, who is the keynote speaker today, an honorary degree recipient. Welcome back to Rhode Island, John. And thank you for your incisive reporting of both national and international events. Clearly you had good training here at URI. To our own Karen Adams, the anchor of WPRI TV, Lisa Terry, who's a jazz violinist, and Sadayuki Sakakibara, all right, sorry about that, Sadayuki, who is president and CEO of Toray, a major employer here in our state. And congratulations to all of you on being awarded honorary degrees today. To the members of the class of 2010, families and friends, is this a great day or what? All right. URI is a great institution with a long and distinguished history, and it right now is in the middle of a new and bold expansion. As we say, the small school that thinks big. And today, you become graduates of this outstanding university. That's a great accomplishment for all of you, a tremendous relief for your families. One of life's greatest lessons is to learn to enjoy the moment. This is your moment. Celebrate it. You've earned it. So please join me in giving you, your parents, your loved ones, all of you a great round of applause for this accomplishment, please. With the current global recession, you're graduating, I know, in a very challenging time, but don't let that discourage you. As you enter this new phase of life, remember to take that first step to dream, and dream big, as URI does. Dream of the possibilities before you. Believe in yourself, and have the courage and determination to keep moving forward no matter what stands in your way. Surround yourself with positive people, and don't let negative forces get you down. In 1780, Abigail Adams sent a letter to her young son, John Quincy Adams, in which she said, and I quote, "It's not in the still calm of life that great characters are formed. Great necessities call out great virtues." In other words, in life, I believe adversity strengthens us, while attitude allows us to persevere. None of us gets where we are on our own, and we all need help somewhere along the way. I had the good sense, in my case, to marry a URI graduate. That's right. And First Lady Sue Kachuri is a proud graduate of this outstanding institution of higher learning, and this is her 45th reunion. She has, I know, many fond memories of her years here, and still maintains close relationship with many of her classmates and sorority sisters. You will all find that many of your lifelong friendships will be classmates that you've met here. If we are to recapture this state and nation's economic vitality, it must be on the back of our scientific and engineering advancement. We must reassert global leadership in discovery and innovation. And in the 7 years of my term here, we have set a course for Rhode Island in education to invest in higher education here, in our academic facilities, and in our research capacity. Just last year, we dedicated, I know many of you have seen, the new Center for Biotechnology and Life Sciences. It's gratifying to me. I'm going to get all of you, don't worry. It's gratifying to me to see the largest academic project at URI in its history come to fruition. And just a few weeks ago, I was here with Amgen, and they dedicated the Amgen labs as part of that facility. We've built the Ocean Science and Exploration Center in the Pell Marine Science Laboratory, creating our own Inner Space Center, which is revolutionizing ocean exploration and research. And right next to the Center for Biotechnology, we broke ground on a $75 million new home for the university's College of Pharmacy. And hopefully, if the General Assembly agrees, this fall we will ask the voters to approve new world-class facilities for both chemistry and nursing. URI is on the move and will play a crucial role in our state's economic development. The brainpower you all represent, supplemented by an outstanding faculty here with great facilities, will power our state's evolution as a center for innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship. And URI is leading the way. Since this is the Ocean State, I think it is fitting to conclude by quoting William Shakespeare, who once wrote, "To unpathed waters, undreamed shores." On behalf of all the citizens of our state, I say, sail on, class of 2010.
Thank you, Governor. It's also my honor today to introduce other representatives of the government of the state of Rhode Island and of the government of the United States. I would like them to stand as I introduce them. First, the Attorney General, Patrick Lynch. General Treasurer Frank Caprio. We're especially delighted to have with us today Congressman James Langevin of our district. It's a further honor for me to introduce to you the senior senator from Rhode Island, Senator Jack Reed, whose leadership and achievement makes us all proud to be Rhode Islanders. Senator Reed.
Thank you very much, President Dooley. Governor Kacheri, my colleagues in government, family, friends, on behalf of Congressman Jim Langevin and our colleagues in the delegation, we want to congratulate the outstanding class of 2010. Congratulations, graduates. We also want to recognize the extraordinary individuals who will be honored by this university with an honorary doctorate. Sadayuki Sakakibara is an international business leader as head of Toray Industries. Lisa Terry is an extraordinary violinist. John King is one of the most outstanding journalists working today, an individual whose integrity and insights are followed and also appreciated by thousands throughout the country. Karen Adams is our own local great newscaster and also a community leader of extraordinary compassion and energy. We are here today to celebrate the class of 2010. You came with a great talent to this wonderful university. Here you learned about the technology and the techniques that are shaping this world, a world in which you will shortly enter, which is characterized by constant change. There are great challenges ahead, but you are prepared for those challenges because not only have you mastered techniques and technologies, you also have understood that in this world, technology and talent alone cannot succeed when character fails. You have learned about character. And today, 11 of your classmates will take a step that exemplifies the character and commitment of this great university. They will be commissioned in the Armed Forces of the United States, and they will receive the greatest privilege an American can have, to lead American fighting men and women. This character, go ahead, I deserve a round of applause. This character, the character of the University of Rhode Island, will be tested across the globe, and it will not fail. Thank you very, very much.
We're pleased and honored that speaking on behalf of the Board of Governors today is the Chairman of the Board, Judge Frank Caprio. Judge Caprio.
Thank you, President Dooley, distinguished guests on the platform, family and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2010 from the University of Rhode Island. It is really my pleasure to bring the greetings of the Board of Governors for Higher Education to your class and maybe deliver a short message. Now, that's not an easy thing to do because I ran an informal survey of several people prior to today and asked them two questions. Number one, who was your commencement speaker? And secondly, what did he or she say? And I think about 10% of the people knew who the commencement speaker was, and 0% knew what the commencement speaker said. Now, I am not the commencement speaker, so maybe I can say something that you can remember. Prior to delivering my very important message, I think it would be fitting at this time to recognize that this will be the last time that Governor Kacheri will appear here as governor of the state of Rhode Island. He has not missed one commencement exercise since he was elected governor 8 years ago, or any other event of significance on this campus, and I think we should thank him for his commitment to the university. To the graduates of 2010, today is indeed a day of unutterable fulfillment for all of you. It is your commencement day. Now, by its very definition, commencement means beginning. So this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of your journey. And only God knows where that journey will take you. Now, you know, I think that your generation can do a lot better than my generation. We are leaving you some very challenging times. There was a time when it was possible during my time to go to college at the University of, I didn't go to the University of Rhode Island, but you could attend the University of Rhode Island for $300 to $400 a year. In private colleges, the most affluent private colleges were $1,000 a year, and that was in the 1950s. Jobs were plentiful, and if you worked, as I did, washing dishes, you could afford to pay your college tuition. And if you were fortunate enough to have parents who had a job, they could afford a house and a car and put food on the table during that period of time. Now, sometime between the 1950s and 2010, we took a wrong turn. Now, we could all speculate where that wrong turn was, whether it was the Vietnam War, whether it was foreign entanglements, whether it was bad economic decisions, is not the place here to discuss. But nevertheless, we did take a wrong turn somewhere. And so we turn our lonely eyes to you to solve these problems. And we know that you will, because you have the courage, you have the determination, and you have the ability, by virtue of the education that you have received here at the University of Rhode Island. But you know, you can't do it by hoping that somebody else does it. There's a story that I'm going to tell you about someone who had some real problems. And they went to their place of worship, and they were sitting in a pew and terribly despondent, praying to the Lord. And all of a sudden, a vision appeared, and the Lord was before this person. And the Lord says, "Why, my child, do you grieve so?" And the response was, "I have such problems, I just feel as though I am so deeply involved that I'll never be able to extricate myself. I need help, Lord." And the Lord says, "I'll grant you one wish. What is your wish?" And the wish was, "Lord, if I hit the lottery, all my problems will be solved." And the Lord said, "Your wish has been granted." 3 months later, that same person is back at the place of worship, very despondent, visibly upset. And the Lord appears again. And the Lord says, "My child, why do you grieve so?" And the response was, "Lord, why have you deceived me? Why have you let me down?" And the Lord says, "What is your problem? It has been 3 months. You promised I could hit the lottery, and I have not hit the lottery." And the Lord said, "My child, will you please buy a lottery ticket?" Well, there's great significance to that story, because most of you have bought the ticket. You have bought the ticket by virtue of the fact that you have worked, that your parents have helped you. Your parents have bought the ticket, in many cases more than you have. That they have sacrificed, that your families have sacrificed, your loved ones, and that you every day, right, through 4 years, took your exams, prepared yourself. You bought the ticket, and now you have prepared yourself to go out into the world. So you can't rely on somebody else to do it. You have to rely on yourself. So keep the faith. Keep the faith. And I know, I am confident, that you may be the generation that cures the nation of all of its ills, that you may be the generation that feeds the world starving, that you may be the generation that takes care of the sick and the homeless and the downtrodden, and that you may be the generation that helps save this fragile environment, and that you may be the generation that brings peace to this great world. We have confidence in you. We turn our lonely eyes to you. God bless you, and good luck.
Each year, it is the tradition of the University of Rhode Island to honor a select few citizens who have made unique and important contributions to society. These are special people whose deeds have touched many and whose actions have been vital to the growth and well-being of us all. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa Karen L. Adams, who who is escorted by Dean Lynn McKinney. Karen Adams, you are an award-winning journalist and a tireless advocate for nonprofit organizations that improve the lives of countless Rhode Islanders. You have served as anchor for WPRI-TV and Fox Providence for more than 20 years and have shared the news with style and integrity. However, your award-winning achievements extend beyond your professional role at Eyewitness News. As an eyewitness to people's needs, you have consistently stepped forward to raise awareness and donations for the state's nonprofit organizations that provide programs and support. Born on the 4th of July, you bring a firecracker spirit to everything you do. You have taken a lead role in raising money for Crossroads, Rhode Island, Community Prep, Special Olympics, Big Sisters, Hasbro Children's Hospital, East Bay Community Action Coalition, Literacy Volunteers of Rhode Island, MAD, and the Women's Health Initiative. You recently co-chaired a $15 million campaign for Meeting Street and co-host that organization's annual telethon. You also co-chair annual golf tournaments and walkathons, including Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, the Providence, Rhode Island, Ronald McDonald House, Walk for Life of Rhode Island, and Project AIDS. As a result of your extraordinary efforts on behalf of those in need, you have become a role model of civic responsibility and community engagement throughout Rhode Island and the nation. For your lifelong commitment to helping others and for your generosity of spirit, the University of Rhode Island is pleased to award you, Karen L. Adams, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Karen, in recognition of your generosity of spirit and advocacy for the needs of your fellow Rhode Islanders, the University of Rhode Island proudly confers upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and pleasures pertaining thereto.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, Mr. Sadayuki Sakikibara, who is escorted by Dean Ray Wright. Sadayuki Sakikibara, as President, Chief Executive Officer, and Chief Operating Officer of Toray Industries Incorporated, headquartered in Tokyo, you oversee the work of 224 subsidiaries and affiliates in 21 countries. With net sales of $16 billion, Toray is a world leader in synthetic fibers and carbon fiber technology, as well as the #1 Bopet film manufacturer. During the last decade, you steered Toray into a global leadership role by developing advanced materials with reduced environmental impact. To combat climate change, the company creates materials to make automobiles and aircraft lighter. The new Boeing 787 is estimated to weigh 20% less in its structural elements thanks to Toray's pioneering process of carbon fiber reinforced plastics. That same process is estimated to reduce the weight of a standard sedan by 30%. The United Nations Association of New York presented you and your company, Toray Industries, with its 2008 Humanitarian Award in recognition of the company's environmentally friendly and socially responsible business activities that target sustainable growth. Toray Plastics America, located right here in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, has been a major supporter of the University of Rhode Island's College of Engineering, providing research collaborations, undergraduate scholarships, internships, employment opportunities, and more. We are grateful for your generosity and our productive partnership with Torrey. For your leadership in corporate responsibility and innovation, the University of Rhode Island is pleased to confer upon Sadayuki Sakikibara the degree Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
In recognition of your leadership and support for the environment and continued commitment towards research, the University of Rhode Island proudly confers upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and pleasures pertaining thereto.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you for the degree Doctor of Arts honoris causa, Lisa Terry, who is escorted by Professor Ann Danis. Lisa Terry, you are an internationally renowned jazz violinist, composer, artistic director, educator, and scholar. Known for your creative interpretation of music and innovation in musical performance, you are the founder and musical director of the Women's Jazz Orchestra of Los Angeles, which has performed at such venues as the 2008 World Festival of Sacred Music. You also played the violin in the orchestra during Stevie Wonder's recent White House Awards ceremony. As a noted music educator, you have lectured worldwide and held clinics, workshops, and demonstrations for the United Nations, North Atlantic Fiddle Conference, American String Teachers Association, the Duke Ellington Conference, International Association of Jazz Educators, and the Juilliard School of Music. Your 2001 CD, A City Called Heaven, Spirituals for Jazz Violins, highlights your commitment to music from the African-American continuum and revolutionary jazz improvisations. It also shows your dedication to the healing power of music. For your pioneering use of music to inform, heal, and educate, the University of Rhode Island is pleased to confer upon Lisa Terry the degree Doctor of Arts honoris causa.
In recognition of your commitment to music and education, the University of Rhode Island proudly confers upon you the degree Doctor of Arts honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and pleasures pertaining thereto.
This afternoon, I am privileged to announce that the following distinguished faculty members have been awarded Faculty Emeriti status in recognition of their distinguished careers and accomplishments at our university. Faculty colleagues, when I read your name, I ask each of our newest Emeriti faculty to please rise. Professor Paul Arkelian, Professor Stanley Barnett, Associate Dean and Professor Harold Bibb, Professor John Boothroyd, Professor Christopher Brown, Professor Alan Kane, Professor Josie Campbell, Professor John Dempsey, Professor Diane Gersowitz, Professor and Director John Grandin, Professor James Helshey, Professor Leland Jackson, Associate Professor Eugene Knott, Professor James Loy, Professor Richard Purnell, Professor Linda Shamoun, and Professor Sharon Strom. Please join me in congratulating and thanking these faculty colleagues. Thank you. The University of Rhode Island Foundation annually recognizes excellence in 4 areas: scholarship, teaching, administration, and staff work. I ask that the recipients of the URI Foundation Excellence Awards stand when I call their names. This year's recipients are Stephen M. Kay, Professor of Engineering, winner of the Scholarly Excellence Award. Libby Miles, Associate Professor and Department Chair of the College Writing Program, winner of the Teaching Excellence Award. Ronald Bernier, Associate Controller, winner of the Administrative Excellence Award. And Rebecca Lamb, Executive Assistant from University College, winner of the Staff Excellence Award. Congratulations to each of you, and thank you for your dedication to the University of Rhode Island.